It was just after midnight when the knocking started. 3 sharp raps on the front door. Not frantic, not playful, measured, deliberate. Rachel froze in her bed, her eyes snapping open. She lived on the quiet edge of town, where nights stretched long and silent, broken only by the occasional bark of a dog or the passing hum of a car on the distant highway. No one came here uninvited. Not at this hour. She reached for her phone on the nightstand. No notifications, no missed calls. Just the glowing digits on the screen. 12:07 a.m. The knock came again. She slid from the sheets and padded softly down the hallway, her bare feet sinking into the carpet. At the door, she leaned against it, heart hammering, and pressed her eye to the peephole. Nothing. Only the porch light swaying in the wind, shadows stretching across the empty driveway. Her pulse thudded in her ears. She waited, not breathing, until the silence swallowed everything again. Finally, she backed away, telling herself it had been a prank. Kids. Or maybe she'd imagined it altogether. But she was halfway back to her bedroom when the knocking returned. Not from the front door this time. From the back. Rachel stopped mid-step. The kitchen. The sliding glass door. Her chest tightened. She swallowed, forcing her legs to move, creeping toward the kitchen like an animal toward the sound of a predator. She flicked on her phone's flashlight, casting a narrow beam across the tiles. The blinds on the sliding door were moving, not swaying from a draft, moving as if someone had brushed their hand against them. Rachel's throat closed. The glass reflected her pale face, wide-eyed and trembling. She whispered to herself, "Locks on." The door's locked, but it didn't slow her pulse. She dialed 911. The line rang once, twice, before a calm female voice answered. 911, what's your emergency? Rachel opened her mouth, but before she could speak, a whisper came from the other side of the glass. Don't. Her fingers went numb. The phone slipped from her hand and clattered against the tile. She stood frozen, the air thick, pressing on her chest. The word had been sharp, hot, right against the glass. She didn't want to turn, didn't want to look, but she did. Her reflection wasn't alone anymore. Behind her, in the kitchen dado, another face hovered over her shoulder. Rachel spun around, raising the phone like a weapon. The flashlight beam cut across the room, bouncing off cabinets. The fridge, the sink. Nothing. Empty. She turned back. The second reflection was gone. Rachel grabbed her phone, the dispatcher's voice tinny and urgent on the line now. Hello? Hello? Are you there? Can you speak? Yes, Rachel croaked, forcing sound past her dry throat. Someone's outside my house. Please, please send police. Stay on the line. Officers are on their way. Don't open any doors. Can you lock yourself in a room? Rachel nodded, even though the operator couldn't see. Yes. She ran down the hall, setting herself in her bedroom and locking the door. She pressed her back to the wood, trembling, her phone clutched so tightly her knuckle baked. The dispatcher kept talking, her voice steady, grounding. You're safe. Stay where you are. Help is coming. Then it came again. Not from the doors. Not from the windows. From inside. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. From under the bed. Rachel's stomach lurched. Her legs nearly gave out. She stared at the floor, at the narrow strip of darkness beneath the frame. She tried to convince herself it was the house, the pipes, anything. But the sound came again, louder this time. Knuckles on wood. Someone's in here, Rachel whispered into the phone, her voice breaking. Ma'am, stay calm. Can you get out of the room safely? Her eyes darted to the window. 2nd floor. A drop into the bushes. Doable. But before she could move, the knocking shifted. It was no longer coming from under the bed. It was inside the closet. Rachel backed against the opposite wall, phone shaking in her hand. She watched the closet door. It rattled once, softly, like someone testing the knob from the inside. Please hurry, she begged the operator. Officers are minutes away. Stay with me. The knob turned. Rachel let out a strangled sob. She wanted to scream, wanted to run, but her body refused to obey. The closet door creaked, opening an inch. Then another. Blackness yawning wider. Her phone buzzed, an incoming call cutting across the 911 line. She glanced at the screen. Her stomach dropped. The call was from her own number. Her voice broke. "It's calling me. It's..." The line with the dispatcher went dead. The phone slipped from her hand again, hitting the carpet with a soft thud. From the closet, in the suffocating silence, a whisper slid into the room, low and deliberate. "Don't." Rachel lunged for the window, clawing at the latch. She yanked it open, the cold air rushing in, and shoved herself through. Branches scraped her skin as she fell into the bushes below. She landed hard, gasping, pain radiating through her legs, but she forced herself up, limping toward the street. Blue lights flickered in the distance. Sirens wailed. Relief surged. She ran, waving frantically. Two officers sprinted from the car toward her, catching her as she stumbled into the road. She clung to one of them, sobbing, trying to explain through broken breaths. "Inside, someone please." The officers exchanged a look, then drew their weapons. One stayed with her while the other pushed into the house. Minutes passed like hours. The officer inside never called back. Then, from Rachel's bedroom window, the blind shifted, and a face appeared. Not the officer's, not hers. A pale, grinning face pressed to the glass, watching her from the dark.